just finished eating my dinner and it was delightful. But anyways, that's not the purpose of this video. Let me sit down because I feel like this is going to be long. Anyway, so I just finished eating my dinner and yeah, just finished eating my dinner. It was really good. Anyways, so news just broke about Robin Williams' apparent suicide. And of course the media says apparent because they can't say absolutely until, you know, like the coroner's report or whatever. But one thing that a lot of people don't know, or some people may know, either way, Robin Williams, was rumored to have had bipolar disorder. And bipolar disorder is a mental illness, just like depression and anxiety and different things like that, and like schizophrenia. Just like any other organ, your brain can get sick, basically. And Robin Williams had that, and he didn't confirm it through his life, but a lot of some events, I guess, in his life confirmed that. Like he dealt with addiction and depression and just a lot of different things, a lot of little events that I've actually randomly studied over the years. Well, it's not really random, because one thing that Robin and I have in common, or in my head we have in common, is that we love to laugh, love comedy, people think we're funny, and we also both have bipolar disorder. I was diagnosed years ago. It's going on 7 or 8 years, so like in 2007, basically. And it was a crazy time. It was a roller coaster, and doctors looked me dead in my face. Looked my mother dead in her face, looked my dad in his face, everybody in their face, but really me, because that's all who was in the room when I was thinking about it. They looked me in my face and just told me, you know, probably not gonna finish college, probably not gonna be able to hold down a steady job, like just don't see it. And I remember looking dead at my doctors and I was like, okay, but you don't know my physician. I'm telling my doctor, like, you don't know my physician. Like, you don't know the great physician. Because all I could think, even in those moments of like mental turmoil, was God has placed something so deep down inside of me. Like, so deep. Like, this overwhelming feeling like God has placed in me that I'm going to be great and do great things and inspire people. He's placed it in me, like he's placed so deep down inside that it's made me cry on several occasions. Like when I've dealt with suicidal thoughts in the past, that feeling has kept me going. And it just has made me, like, almost made me angry, made me fight for my life, because I was like, wait a minute, like all those times, like, wait a minute, God has shown me visions and he is planting something inside of me that tells me like I am destined for a great life, whatever that means for me. God has told me that I'm destined for that. But anyways, kind of back to tying back into Robin Williams' death. I just think about how you really don't know what people are going through. Like, there's so many people who, you know, but a few minutes ago, you didn't know something huge about me. All you knew was I'm the girl who has big hair. You probably like it, and you may know that I'm mostly vegetarian, and you think that's cool, but before this video, you didn't know that I had bipolar disorder. You didn't know. You didn't know I dealt with suicidal thoughts. You didn't know. And it's a tribute to, like, the fact that you truly don't know what people are going through. Like, I just think about how, like, I like laughter. Like, I laugh at everything, and I laugh at inappropriate times. And it's just because I hate to be sad, and I hate to like be mad, and I hate to like be depressed. I would rather laugh. I just would rather laugh. And in my head, that's something that like me and Robin had in common. Like, I just rather laugh. I don't want you to know that I'm anxious or that I've had those moments. I don't want people to see that. But that's exactly what's wrong with our society. This is not an amazing time in the United States. There's great things going on, don't get me wrong. But there's a lot of not so great stuff going on. Like, the economy sucks. Like, you go to college, you better be going for you, and you better know how you're gonna pay those student loans after you get out, because guess what, that little piece of paper does not guarantee you a job anymore. It's nice, it looks nice on your mantle and or wherever you choose to put it, but unless your parents had an agreement with somebody else's parents or somebody who owns a major corporation and told them, hey, my kid is gonna go to school, and because they go to school you're gonna get in a job, it ain't happening no more. Like, it ain't happening. And there's so many things to like get down about and be depressed about, because sometimes life sucks. Sometimes life sucks. And when life sucks, most of the time I like to laugh, but sometimes I cry. And more than once, on several occasions, I've found myself contemplating just ending it all, because that thought brought me more peace than staying on this earth. Like, that thought brought me more peace. And it just makes me sad, because there's so many people who like suffer in silence, like, because honestly we don't care enough. We don't care enough even for the people that we say we love. We don't care enough to actually pray for the people that we say we're praying for. We don't care enough to ask the uncomfortable questions. Like, we want people to all fit into this certain box. Like, if we ask you how you're doing, please say good. Please say good. Because we don't want to delve deeper. We don't want to truly ask you, like, what's wrong. We don't truly want to address the fact that we feel like you're not okay, even though you're saying you're okay. And God has really just put on my heart for a long time, and I've kind of been avoiding it, that I need to tell this portion of my story, because there's so many people out there dealing with these thoughts and who don't know what to do with them. They either are hoping that they'll just go away, or that somebody will stop and care enough to ask about them, or something. They're just desperate. And it's just a really, really sad time, I think, in our culture, because not only are we killing each other, we're killing ourselves. And I'm just thankful, thankful for my life. I'm also thankful for the beautiful life that Mr. Williams lived, because he did something priceless. Like, you made people laugh. Like, make people laugh. Like, laughter is so huge to me. Like, if you can make me laugh, you can be my friend. Like, you can be my friend. You have saved my life if you can make me laugh. Like, there's so many things, and I hate that Mr. Williams couldn't see the sun peeking through his storm. Like, I hate that he couldn't see that. Because I just think about, like, so many years ago, how I just declared over my life, like I just said, like, in the midst of, like, all the thoughts and just the depression and so many other things, like, I just told myself, like, I don't want to be the end of my story. Like, I want my story to end because God said it's my time. Like, I want it to be because I was destined to take my last breath, and not because this life sucked and I couldn't see the end, the light in the tunnel. Like, I don't want that to be the end, and I declared that over my life. Like, I will live and I won't die. And there's not enough people who see the beauty in life, or who care enough to show people that there's a beauty in life, to where you should declare that over your life. Like, you're gonna live and you won't die. Like, you don't have to die that way. Like, you can say, like, yes, I may have these thoughts. Life does suck at moments, but I'm not gonna give in. And the fact that I spoke that thought over my life so many years ago has kept me going. Like, even like, I was just overwhelmed just a few days ago, and I'm still kind of in a place where I'm overwhelmed with my current situation, but I have that deep down thought inside of me that I've spoken to myself and I've spoken over my life that says, I cannot choose that route. Because yes, if I were to give into those thoughts, yes, my student loans would be forgiven. I wouldn't have to worry about those anymore. Yes, my debt would go away. Yes, all that would go away. But the possibility of me bringing these dreams to fruition would also end. I wouldn't get to see another sunrise. I wouldn't get to see my brother graduate high school. I wouldn't get to see my sister work in her degree field. I wouldn't get to see my mother be as happy as she is in her marriage. I wouldn't get to see, like, all the hopes and dreams that, like, God has placed in me come to fruition. Like, that's the main thing. Like, everything stops, the good and the bad, if you give into those thoughts. And I just want to encourage us to wake up. Just wake up. These are challenging times. Like, our kids, our teenagers, this generation is taking their lives. They're not seeing a reason to live. Nobody's instilling hope in them. We're not asking the questions that we need to ask. Like, how are you? No, really, how are you? I know you graduated college and your grace period is over. How them student loans looking? Like, how are you doing after having that baby? I know emotions and hormones can be all out of whack. Like, how are you really doing? How are you doing? You've been single for forever, and I know you told me, like, years ago you thought you'd be married by now. Like, how are you doing? Like, I know your car broke down and you got it fixed, but what's your bank account looking like now? Like, why don't we ask those questions? And I just can't help but think it's because we're selfish. So we're selfish and we're lazy and we're scared of disrupting the status quo. Like, if I ask you those deep questions, that means I have to stick around and actually do something with the answers that you give me. I have to care more. I have to give more of myself. I have to just do something extra. And we're so like, like, let me just think of myself. I have to do this. I have to do this. But you have to do this, and you have to work with people to achieve your goals. And those people that you have to work with, they're hurting sometimes. And we need to stop and think about it. But anyways, let me bring this to a point, because I don't know how long my iPhone is going to let me record. But I just want to say, like, I am thankful for this life. I'm thankful for the beautiful life that Mr. Williams lived. I'm sad that he couldn't find the end of the tunnel. He couldn't see the sun. But that doesn't negate the beautiful life that he lived. He made us laugh. And how many of y'all know how hard it is to laugh sometimes? And in my head, Mr. Williams, you were a friend and inspiration, and you actually inspired me to tell part of my story that I may not have told otherwise. So, rest on. I charge anybody who's watching this video to care more, to do more, to pour yourself out for others more, and be inspired. Don't let your dreams die. Keep fighting for your life. Fight for your life, even when it's miserable. Fight. Just keep fighting. Good night.